Hello everyone, it's me again, Rashmi. I'm a registered migration agent. Um, this is a quick video regarding Tasmania state nomination. This morning, it's 5th of August today, we had a seminar with the Tasmania state authorities, and it's so much great news that I would like to share with you. I'm quite excited to share with you with Tasmania. So many positive things happening. Great state to migrate for accountants, people with engineering skill assessment, IT, community services. Um, to start with, I would like you guys to know that Tasmania has been rigorously inviting candidates. To give you an idea, last year around 4,200 applications were received by Tasmania. So in 2020-21 financial year, these were the number of applications, 4,200, and out of which 2,600 people were invited. The year before, around 4,500, out of which approximately 3,000 people were invited. So what I'm trying to say here is that 1 in 2 people, applicants, get invited for either 491 or 190 visa. That's the chances of getting an approval. For instance, for 190 visa, the approval rate is 72%, and for 491, it was 65% for the last financial year. Maybe that's the reason why you might have come across a lot of migration consultancies advising clients, especially in accounting, IT sector, to migrate to Tasmania, because you don't have to be necessarily working in a nominated field when it gets sometimes very hard to get employment. Tasmania allows you to apply without pretty much any work experience in a nominated field. So I'll straight away jump on to the criteria. So as you know, there are two categories of state nominated visas, 491 and 190. So 491 is basically a provisional visa, a temporary visa, and 190 is a permanent visa. So you'll find that the requirements for 190 visa, for the permanent state nominated visa, is quite stringent as compared to 491 usually. For instance, for Tasmania, there are two categories for 190 visa, which is work and study. And for 491, there are 5 categories: work, study, and then there are other 3 categories on top of it, as offshore for our offshore applicants, small business owner, and family. So if I compare the study and work categories, which are quite popular, I would say that the requirement for 491 is pretty lower. It's almost half of what's required. So for 491, they require only 1 year study, as compared to 2 year study in Tasmania for 190 visa. So for 491, where they required you to be working in pretty much any occupation, as long as it's full time, 35 hours a week paid. For 190, they require you to have your occupation on the TSOL list only. So they have a TSOL list. So this list typically comprises of occupations in health, there is trade, there are lots of occupations there in engineering, but remember, IT is not there. So if you have got a skill assessment in IT, then you're not targeting 190, you're targeting 491. So now coming to study, so for 190 you need 2 years of full-time study completed in Tasmania, but for 491 it's only 1 year study. Now when talking about, we get a lot of queries about this for the study and work pathway. So I'll give you a quick heads up of what constitutes the eligible study for Tasmania. Just bear that in mind, that if you are on a student visa doing a diploma or a higher level course, diploma, bachelor, masters, diploma or higher in Tasmania on student visa, you can be studying any course in any discipline for either 190 or 491. But if you are on any other visa, you would end up doing only the course that's on the priority list. So when I talk about priority list, I'm talking about mainly health, trade courses, hospitality, agriculture, education, engineering and manufacturing. That's pretty much about it. So you need to be studying one of these courses. A couple of popular courses are Diploma Building and Construction, Diploma of Community Services, Certificate 3 in Aged Care, a few other courses in hospitality, which would help you upskill yourself and probably increase your chances of getting employment there as well, because these are the people they need right now. That's why it's on priority list. So yeah, coming back to the study. So your study needs to be in a course pertaining to one of these sectors, and you can choose not to have your course in sector if you're in student visa studying a diploma or above level course. So 491 1 year study, 190 2 year study. So that's pretty much about the study requirement. And remember, if you're a family member, even if it's work, study, doesn't matter which stream, they have to migrate with you to Tasmania. They can't be in any other state working and you're going by yourself and they're joining you later halfway through. It won't work. It will be a hurdle later. They're likely not to be eligible when you try to add them as a secondary applicant when you become eligible for a state nominated visa for Tasmania. Okay, so they need to go along with you. Now, work criteria. So let's talk more about 491 visa because that's where most of you are eligible to apply, and there's immense flexibility. So for 491 visa, they say that you need to have 6 months of full-time work experience in any occupation. So they have not really specified this time that it needs to be skilled or non-skilled. So as long as it's full-time paid, 35 hours a week, full-time or part-time as well. It can be 2 jobs, 3 jobs, they're flexible with that. As long as it's 35 hours a week, paid employment, and you're paid at market rate, of course, they're happy to accept that. Now, if you have your occupation on TSOL list, then there is a leverage. You basically will end up working for only 3 months, and you can apply for 491 visa after that. So that's great for 491 visa. So basically, if you already have a skill assessment, say you're an accountant or you are an ICT business analyst, you're a civil engineer, mechanical engineer, motor mechanic, you're a chef, go there, work 3 months full time, and you're good to go. Because Tasmania is not very fussy about points. They like to see more whether your employment is more permanent in nature, you're going to be likely to settle, you have the skill to settle, have you done a course that will help you with settling, or are you working in a field that will help you to settle? Like one of the priority sectors, as I mentioned, health, hospitality, engineering, agriculture. With the employment, bear in mind, irrespective of the visa category, it has to be, when you apply for the state nomination application, you should have had a 12 months contract. It could be back in time when you started the work, and there should be at least 3 months left in that contract. So that's one typical requirement that they mentioned. Now, quick updates. With the Section 48 bar applicants, it's an excellent news, great news. You can actually finally apply. There is some state who is letting you apart from New South Wales. New South Wales is quite vague about whether they want or not, and how accepting they'll be to Section 48 barred applications. But Tasmania, today there were questions asked during seminar as well regarding the likelihood, and they seemed quite positive. Their only concern is that, well, if there is a New Zealand bubble which is being suspended and you get an invitation, then how would we expect you to be traveling outside the country when we don't know whether you'd be able to? So that's when we might reconsider inviting the Section 48 barred applicant for that period when the travel bubble is suspended. But they said we would not be very much inclined to take too much of a biased approach to a Section 48, as long as they have some flexibility to move around. For example, New Zealand bubble, they might be okay inviting Section 48 barred applicants. So that's great news. It's quite evidently published on the website as well. You can have a look. So you guys can imagine how easy it would be for you to get a nomination. The only challenge is going to Tasmania. Most of you are struggling with a job, more expensive accommodation, and then you reconsider your options, and then you might just drop the plan overall. I would suggest maybe it's time to think of moving out of your comfort zone for a certain while, because especially for accountants, if you have pursued a very popular occupation, for example accounting, engineering, IT, or you're into cookery, chef, hospitality related occupations, competition is quite high. So if you're targeting, say, New South Wales, Victoria, South Australia, where most of the crowd is already directed to, and if you're not at high points, say if you don't even have a 7 each at this stage, and you're still preparing, then Tasmania could be an option for you, as compared to other states where chances could be much more lesser. So my recommendation is, although Tasmania is an island, it's not mainland. Some people might have those apprehensions about how the lifestyle is going to be. Still, Tasmania is welcoming everyone with open arms, and they're inviting 60% of the applicants. What more do we want? I think it's just a matter of migrating to Tasmania and just taking that call. With regards to employment, I have been recommending a lot of my clients to upskill themselves if they don't have any other qualification that might help. For example, if there are quick courses, say aged care courses, disability courses, it takes around 3.5-4 months, and they complete those courses and then they migrate. So at least they're able to get some job going when they land up there. Health sector, definitely the jobs are there. So it helps them at least get started. And of course, as they work, if it's full time, they would eventually be eligible for 490 visa as well, or possibly 190. Excellent. So this is pretty much about Tasmania State nomination update. Lots of great news. I'm sure you guys will have some quick questions to ask. Feel free to write your questions in the comment below, and we'll endeavor to answer them within 24 to 48 hours. If it's not on a weekend. Otherwise, pretty much in maximum 3 days, you should have a response, or else you can call us on 043-006-4421, or send us an email on team@applemigration.com.au. Please like us on Facebook so you keep getting the updates. Do subscribe to our channel, because we have been uploading videos mostly regarding state nomination and giving you a quick heads up of what the criteria is and what the current migration update is. So it might be a bit educational for you to get quick view of things, since it's a very volatile environment at this stage. So yeah, do like us, subscribe, and just let us know if there are any videos, any particular topics you would like me to make videos on. And I shall definitely do my best to include those topics in future videos. Thank you. Bye.